everyone. For the ones that don't know me, my name is Dai. I am a Brazilian English and Portuguese teacher living in the US for the past almost 2 years. And living here all this time made me realize how much I love my own language and how much I love languages, like in general, like language learning and like teaching and everything else. So I decided like start giving some tips on like how to learn Portuguese. So the part two is that you can learn the basics. So you can look for alphabet, numbers, or greetings, or like childish books that have basic language. So that's gonna be very helpful if you're trying to begin. But basically, like try to have a really good base on the language so you can like advance. So this is just like a how to learn. So that's the first step that I would recommend my English students to do, like learn the basics. And this is for like any language. So that's a step two. Number three is make use of the apps. So there are like a lot of language apps nowadays that you can use. I like Duolingo. I do Duolingo basically every day. I'm trying to learn German now. It's just like one of my goals for this year to learn something different, and German is like really cool and interesting, very similar to English, by the way. So it's like really useful and you can learn a lot of vocabulary. So that's an option. I also love Italki, and it's a good platform to talk to like native speakers. You can talk to tutors, like actual teachers, and the lessons are very affordable. And you can pick, like, if you don't like the approach, you can like choose somebody else to teach you or talk to you. So it's really cool. I used to do a lot of like Japanese speaking classes on Italki, and it was really useful. I feel like from the first class to the second class, I felt like wow, like my Japanese was way better already. So I'm gonna link down below a coupon code if you want to do Italki classes, and I'm pretty sure they have good Portuguese instructors. Number four is that you can read books, or you can find like like books to study the language, like grammar. So two books that you can use is Pois Não, which is a really famous book for Portuguese learners, and the second one is Modern Brazilian Portuguese Grammar. So I'm gonna link down below the two links for the books, the materials. You can learn grammar through them, or you can read like books, like really Portuguese books that are written in Brazil, like stories. And you can learn the language as well. So I'm gonna link down below the site that you can find like books to read online. And I feel like reading is really one of the best options if you want to get vocabulary. It's just amazing. So if you have time to put some reading in your daily day activities, it's just gonna like really improve your Portuguese learning or any other language. And number five is just like as I said in the beginning, consume a lot of content in Portuguese. So if you like Instagram, follow Instagram like influencers that are Brazilian. So my favorites are definitely Raissa Book. She's like a comedian. I love her. She's amazing and she's Christian. So like I love her kind of comedy, and she's amazing. So you should follow her. I also like Renata Mines. She is Brazilian, but she lives in Australia, and she talks about like how to put yourself like in an elegant position and how to like give the best of yourself, like physically, but also like mentally, like the way you think about your posture, your position, like when you're talking to someone, your gestures, the way you're dressing. So it's really interesting, and I feel like it could be very like you know nice to get this information from someone in Portuguese as well. So she's really great, and she has a YouTube channel too. If you like soccer, for example, you can follow like Neymar or Richarlison. They are like famous soccer players, and you can learn Portuguese through their videos, their stories, or like their feed. On YouTube and Instagram, there's Ana Carolina M. She's like one of my favorites vloggers, YouTubers, because she used to be an exchange student. Now she's doing exchange program in Europe, but she was in the US, and I relate to her a lot somehow. I don't know why, and I really like her content. So it's an option if you want to learn Portuguese. She has a lot of Portuguese videos, and you can follow her in both social medias. I also like Fabio Linares. He has vlogs. He is a half Brazilian, half Japanese. in Japan, and he posts like vlogs with his family, with his friends, like camping in Japan. And I really like Japanese culture, so it's really cool to check out because in Brazil we have like a very big, huge community from Japan. So we actually have whole cities and neighborhoods like full of like Japanese people. So it's really amazing how our culture is like really mixed. You're gonna see that if you go to Brazil. Whindersson Nunes is also like a great comedian. He's amazing. He's from the northeast of the country, so most of the things he talks about is like the reality they live there. So it's very specific, but he's really amazing. He has like videos and talk shows on Netflix, YouTube. He has like Instagram, so you can like consume a lot of content. And most of like our country loves him, so you're gonna love him. And the last one, she's one that I really enjoy following. It's My Bikini. I don't know if she's in London right now, like in England, but she talks about like discipline, and like self performance, being a woman, how to like manage your time, your studies, how to read more and spend more time on social media, for example. And she talks about like experience she had, so it's really interesting, and you can also follow her. And the sixth tip is that if you're planning on learning Portuguese to visit Brazil or to meet someone Brazilian, like I would say pick up a date that you want to go to Brazil, or at least like if you can afford it, just like buy a ticket for your vacation to visit Brazil. This way when you're learning the language, you feel like motivated to study more and more, and you will be like, well, I have to study because I'm going to Brazil at this point of the year. So it's really gonna like make you feel like you have to learn, or you need to learn the language, so you're gonna feel an urge to like improve your speaking or whatever skill you need. But basically you're speaking if you want to go and talk to people. And definitely traveling to a place knowing their target language is just like totally different. Like I wouldn't imagine me being in the US for 2 years like not speaking English. If you can afford, like I would say schedule a trip for your vacation to visit Brazil, and then when you start learning the language now, let's say you go like in November, you have like 9 months to study the language. And if at some point you say, oh, this is too hard, I can do it, you're gonna say like, no, but I'm going to Brazil in November, so I actually need to learn. So I hope I have helped you guys. If you want to learn more Portuguese or language tips, please subscribe to my channel and keep following the tips that I'm giving here. I'm really excited to make this content because it's really my passion to learn language and to teach languages. So now that I actually figure out that Portuguese is an option for me, it's just amazing to have like this possibility to connect with more people. So I hope you have liked and this was helpful to you, and I see you guys in the next video.